So, a couple of my friends asked me to do a tutorial on the basics of After Effects because they're doing a stop frame animation project and they want to make it look nice and cool and stuff. So I said I'll show them the basics, how to get started and stuff. But my After Effects is going to be running a bit slow because I'm running out a previous tutorial, which should be up by the time you're watching this. And yeah, so just gonna wait here for After Effects to load up. Hopefully, you know. Let's go ahead and look at the weather. How's the weather for you guys as After Effects loads up here? Alright, so this is what you see when you first load After Effects. Actually, you won't see this. You will see something slightly different. And I'll show you what you guys will see once it loads. God. Right. This is the main screen, but it comes up with a little pop-up like this to show you sort of your previous projects here, a tip, and you can do other stuff. You know, this time you just close that, and I'm quickly gonna change it back to how it was. I think, can't remember how it used to look, but you won't have like this effects and presets stuff here, like this tracker thing. You might have paragraph and character. Anyway, you won't have regular, but you have preview. But that's one of the things I was told to teach. I like to have my effects and stuff here, so I can just quickly say type in Twix. There you go. Yeah, and so I can just quickly drag and drop my presets into the effects panel right there. And so let's get started. So obviously we have this sort of blank screen here, and what you want to do is go to composition, new composition, and that will bring up this sort of composition settings. You can obviously change the resolution here. The bottom number represents when you see the words say 720p or 1080p. So right now it's at 1080p, and you can click this lock aspect ratio to keep it to 16:9, which is widescreen. So for example, if I change this to 720, this is now 720p, and so on and so forth. So you can do whatever number and still be widescreen, but might not be supported. Well, actually would be supported by YouTube, but no, I digress. So that's the resolution of the project you're about to create. I keep that the way it is. Here's the frame rate, that's quite important. The higher the frame rate, the longer the render times. Also, when you're RAM previewing, it'll take longer to preview because there's more frames, obviously. And for the most part, I've started just to use 23.976, which is film. What frame rate is used to record films for movies and stuff. And at the end of the day, because when it's 23, it's that's sort of the lowest that your eye can recognize before it starts to get jittery, I believe. But a lot of stuff is at 60 frames per second, which is actually 59.940. That's also if you want something that looks really smooth. But because of render times, I really can't be honest, the way I do 96.7, I think it was, or 97.6. Yeah, 97.6. That's a film. This resolution thing here is how you see. I'm not quite sure, you know. I've never really. I've changed that once. It used to be 4, but I changed it to half. I'm not sure what that changes. So I'm not sure. Track code I haven't changed before in my life. And duration is the duration of the composition. At the moment it's at 1 minute and 56 seconds and 0 milliseconds. You can obviously change any value here. So it'll be 1 hour. These are the hour, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. And let's just change that to 10 seconds and make something quite short here, just to show you peeps. And click OK. So let me just go through some of the controls here. Obviously, when I was learning this, I think I watched like one tutorial, but after that I just clicked and explored. So I don't know what a lot of this stuff does. No, I'm joking. Like some of the stuff here, I don't know. Obviously your file here, edit, composition, layer, effect, animation, view, window. I use you don't use window. This is stuff I'm going to explain what the stuff I use. Window gets you, like, for example, the effects tab here. So if I uncheck that effects and presets here, that will disappear from there. And obviously I can put it back, and I can actually move this window anywhere. So I can move it to the right of this of the paragraph thing there, but obviously I don't want it there. I want it right here, and you can move everything anywhere you want, to be honest. But the way it is now, that's the way I like it. So I have stuff I can see here, stuff I can see here, and stuff I can see here. And yeah, view I don't use at all. Animation I don't use. Effects, this is where all your effects are, from your color correction to your blurs to your trap codes to your plugins. Everything is under here. That's why I use this sort of search bar thing here, so I can just, you know, type and find it easier. So of going effect, this one, and that one, and so forth. And layer, that layer is very important. You go to layer, new, you can make a text layer, solid layer, camera, null object, a shape layer, which a lot of people would want. Also, quick thing, if you just go into the general composition where it is, you can right click and go to new, which is the same as the other ones above. So it's just quicker instead of going all the way to the top of your screen, and then you just right click here, and yep, you can do the same with the composition settings and change stuff here. That composition settings window can also be done by at the top here with composition and composition settings, and obviously you can make a new composition, and it will be right there, so you can have two separate things and stuff. And stuff, things and words everybody knows about, do and undo. These buttons here are basically your tools. You got the selection tool, which is V, the shortcut is V. You got the hand tool, which is H. I don't use a magnifying glass thing at all. Got a rotation tool, which is R. No, it's not R, it's W. Okay, it's P. Okay, I don't know, I forget. Oh, here's W. Okay. Rotate stuff. Camera tool is C. Pen tool is G. I didn't know that. Oh, we could just go to pen tool. A text tool, I just click some of these, but obviously when you're changing between your hand tool and your point select tool, it'll be easier if you just know like the shortcut, so you can select stuff and then move this around if you need to. But and yeah, I think that's all for these sort of things. So obviously you can get a text tool there, make a text, move that around and whatnot. Pen tool, right now I'll just make a mask, but that's what the pen tool can do. You can also make shapes of it, but you have to make a new shape layer. You have to go to new shape, and then with the pencil selected you can then make a shape of any color. See, it's white now because the fill up here is white. You can change the stroke color, and then increase the size of that stroke, and that's how you do a basic shape in After Effects. And you can also, I don't know, there's some preset shapes here, but obviously that's with the shape layer there. If you wanted to make a mask with that layer, obviously you go to, oh my mind, I just press M. Do I press M? I forget. I'm so tired. It's 7:30. I'm knackered. But I'm trying to think what else I can show you. Text, shape layers. Yeah, I might as well show you about importing stuff. To import, you can go to File, Import, and then File, or you can just double click in that empty project. I'm using my hands, I shouldn't do that. You can double click in this empty project space here, because the project and the effects bit are interchangeable here. And if you don't see the project bit, you can scroll here. This little bar uses to scroll. But double click, and let's find some footage. Oh, sorry, I need to burp. Find some footage. So let's go with something hopefully that's not too big. I'm trying to think of stuff that wasn't too big. Let's just go 2 gigs, 800 megabytes, 66 megabytes. Let's go with this. So you import it, and it shows all the stats, like the specification of the clip. So it's 1080p, 29 frames per second, and so yeah. So your project file is different from your composition stuff. You can drag stuff into a composition, and you can then drag a whole composition somewhere else. Like say that was composition 2, you can do stuff like drag composition 2 into composition 1, and then and it will come as one like full thing here instead of it being separate. You can also do that by pre-composing stuff. So for example, if I just wanted to pre-compose this first shape, or just say I wanted to pre-compose the movie, the clip and the text, I can select those, go to composition, then pre-compose, where is it, layer? Sorry, it's layer, I just use a shortcut. Pre-compose, or you can press Ctrl Shift and C, which I use all the time. So you click on that, and then you can type in a name like, let's call it test, and you can move all your attributes in the new composition. So by attributes, it basically just means effects. So because I've got 2 things selected, I think I can't move attributes, but enough of that. And you click to open a new composition, which will come up there. Obviously then that comp will come here, and you can import that into other comps and whatnot, and in the original place where it was made, it will be a pre-comp. And so that means I can, if I quickly just delete this, just import that text and that clip. As you can see, it was just stuff like that. What else? Sound. My Avino said he wanted to know how to hear sound. When you press, normally you press something like play, and obviously you don't hear sound when you play it. Or if you press spacebar, which I used to do, it's just to like when you want to play something, it doesn't work. But that's because you have to RAM preview it, so that's why you need quite a bit of RAM to run After Effects and stuff. So RAM preview is this tab here. It should be on its own. When you open After Effects, here should be like a volume thing, which I don't really use. The next should be RAM preview, and the next I think is text. I can't remember what the original stuff looks like. But if it's not there, go to Window, then Preview, and to basically do a RAM preview, you change the frame rate to wherever your composition is. This shows how many frames it skips, how many. It's like every. It's like if it's on 1, every frame it will skip a frame. I think for 2 it'll be every 2 frames it skips a frame. I think that's how it works. No, it skips 2 frames every. I can't remember. But the higher the number, the quicker it is to RAM preview. So I'm going to keep on 0 just so you guys can see the frame rate. And this is obviously the resolution on which it RAM previews, because this here is to show when it's static. But most people think when you change this will change the RAM preview. It doesn't. You have to go up here and change it, the resolution here. So let me just RAM preview that in RAM preview that. Yeah. Also, before I do that, there's 2 options here, from current time and when it's selected and non-selected. When it's selected, that means it will RAM preview from wherever the marker is. So if I click now, it will start to RAM preview there if you just want to do that a little bit. But if it's not selected, then it will RAM preview from the beginning and carry on. So once you say you RAM preview what you want to see, you don't have to RAM preview everything. But quickly here. Once you RAM previewed what you want to RAM preview, hopefully we can hear that. As you can hear, it plays it with volume, and you can see what's happening really. Hear and see what's happening. Yeah, most of this stuff is from Photoshop, so you know what all this stuff is. That's pretty much the basics. Really and truly, it's just messing around with, you know, stuff you already know from Photoshop and whatnot. Going for 15 minutes here. I think I can do more than 15-minute uploads. Can't remember. I suck at remembering stuff. I think that's it. If you enjoyed, go ahead and subscribe and tell me what you want to know next. If you're a beginner, because if you're obviously like intermediate or advanced, at that point you might as well just be exploring After Effects and just trying new stuff. But yeah, if you're completely new and you don't know what clue is happening, tell me what you want to sort of learn in terms of basic stuff, whether it be like a little bit of animation stuff or the camera tool. I'm not too good. I'm kind of good with my one. Okay, let me stop. Go ahead and subscribe. Tell me what you want to see next, and I hope the people at college appreciate this. Hopefully I'll watch it. But goodbye. I think next time, if there is a next time. Yeah.